Chapter 13 Epilogue, The Light We Leave Behind. 1. The Quiet Revolution. Revolutions usually arrive with noise, the crash of gates, the chant of crowds, the signature on a law. But this one began with silence, a single person, in a kitchen somewhere, opening a tablet and learning something new. No flags, no fireworks. Just a quiet decision: I want to understand. And from millions of those small, private moments, a nation changed. 2. The invisible infrastructure. When historians look back on the early 21st century, they'll see an era drowning in information yet thirsty for wisdom. They'll wonder how Canada, of all countries, modest, northern, patient, managed to transform that chaos into clarity. They'll find the answer not in politics or profit but in infrastructure, not the concrete kind, but the kind built of minds. Every course, every mentorship, every shared idea became a beam in an invisible architecture, a lattice of understanding stretching from coast to coast to coast. A cathedral of curiosity with no walls and no gatekeeper. 3. The generation that chose to teach. Our ancestors cleared forests, laid rails, built roads. We built connections, not just digital but human. We were the generation that decided the inheritance we leave our children shouldn't be money they'll fight over, but knowledge they can build on. We made the choice our ancestors didn't know they had, to teach instead of hoard, to share instead of sell, to build not monuments but minds. That's the quiet heroism of this age, the courage to educate. 4. The light of continuity. Learning never truly ends, it only changes form. The stories once whispered around fires now glow on screens, the teachers once confined to classrooms now live in the ether, their words carried by code. Each generation adds a layer to the light, brighter, broader, but still the same flame that flickered in ancient caves when humans first asked why. That question, the first spark of knowledge, still burns in us. And in nurturing it, we've ensured it won't go out again. 5. The measure of a nation. A great nation isn't measured by its borders or its wealth, but by the questions its people are brave enough to ask. And Canada, the country that learned to learn together, will be remembered as the one that asked the right question at the right time. What if fairness isn't about what we own, but what we know? That question changed everything. 6. The light we leave behind. Centuries from now, when new civilizations sift through our archives, they may find traces of us. A language evolved, a map redrawn, a planet healed. But the truest relic they'll find won't be physical. It will be a tradition, the habit of curiosity, passed from teacher to student, neighbor to neighbor, generation to generation. They'll see that once, in the northern half of the world, a people decided to make knowledge free. And from that freedom, everything else followed. That's the light we leave behind. Not a torch that burns but one that illuminates. 7. Closing words. So here we end, not with a period but with a promise. That every Canadian, and every human, who reaches for understanding will find a hand extended back. That every question asked adds a new star to the constellation of our collective mind. That the story of the learning nation never really ends, it only changes authors. Because now, the book belongs to everyone. End of Chapter 13 Epilogue, The Light We Leave Behind. The Learning Nation, How Open Knowledge Can Rebuild Civilization. In a century defined by inequality, automation, and ecological strain, one nation dares to ask a radical question. What if the greatest act of justice isn't redistribution of wealth but redistribution of knowledge? Told through history, economics, philosophy, and human story, it shows how Canada can lead the world by creating Learn Canada, a gamified, federally funded open education platform. Equal parts manifesto and manual, it blends PhD-level insight with the soul of a cosmic prophet. This is not just a book about education. It's about Civilization 2.0, built not on extraction but on enlightenment.